Akila caught John licking her menstrual blood, she confronted him and John begged her to keep the secret. Akila screamed. In a small neighborhood, a beautiful woman named Akila moved in one day, captivating all the men's attention. They would stare as she walked by. But Akila only had eyes for the wealthy. Among them was John, a successful car dealer who persistently pursued her with so many gifts until she gave him a chance and agreed to marry him. Their wedding was like a fairy tale, with hundreds of guests, delicious food and beautiful decorations. After the wedding, they moved into a grand house with a big garden. Akila lived like a queen, with John spoiling her with luxury cars, clothes and jewels. She changed cars every month, demanding a new one every 30 days, and John happily provided. Akila's wardrobe was like a supermarket, filled with clothes, handbags, luxury shoes, and accessories from top to bottom. John never complained even when she spent his money unnecessarily. Akila would drive around showing off her new cars and beautiful clothes, provoking envy among the other wives. People stared, wishing they had her life. What Akila didn't know was that there was a mystery behind John's wealth. A dark secret. After completing his National Youth Service, John struggled to find employment. He wrote to so many companies, but no one called him for an interview. One day, he entered a barber's shop, offering to learn. The owner accepted and John quickly mastered the skill, attracting customers who waited for his magical hands. One day, an elderly man named Alhaji Salami came to cut his hair. He asked John how much he earned. John said 20,000 naira per month. Salami laughed and said, "That's poor pay." He gave John his card and told him to call. That evening, John called Salami and met him at a quiet place. Salami promised to make John rich, but warned him to follow instructions without questions. John agreed, and they drove to a lonely road. An old woman appeared with a black calabash, chanting strange words. John felt scared, but Salami warned him to keep quiet. After chanting, the old woman said,
"You will start having money from this very night. But to keep your wealth, you must lick a woman's menstrual blood every month. And whoever you marry will never have children."
John was horrified but couldn't escape. The old woman's words haunted him. "If you live, you die." John returned home, feeling trapped, crying silently, and that was how he became rich, and he started licking. Every month, he would visit several universities, giving huge amounts of money to young ladies, asking them to steal sanitary pads and bring to him, and they would do just that, sneaking around different hostels, stealing pads and delivering it to John. But after he married Akila, he started getting all his supplies from her. As Akila's monthly visitor arrived, John monitored her, cooking and caring for her. He would secretly add a substance to her drink, making her sleep deeply and bleed heavily. He would then place a white cloth and some parts underneath her, and after some minutes, he would remove them and lick it. This ritual continued for a very long time. Akila enjoyed her luxurious lifestyle, unconcerned about having children. However, one day, while she was about entering a salon, she overheard some women discussing about her childlessness. Akila felt saddened and realized she needed a child to complete her.
Everything is not all about money. The real flex as a woman is to have your children running around your beautiful house, not like what that rubbish Akila is doing. Exactly. She's very beautiful but very daft. I don't admire her one bit. She keeps changing cars like a fool. Anyway, she doesn't have any child to invest on. She just looks like a very sick person, a very rubbish woman with nonsense behavior. And she's extremely jobless, so jobless, always driving around. Anywhere you go, you will see that woman driving around buying unnecessary things. I detest her so much.
Later that evening, she shared her feelings with John, telling him that she was ready to have children and that they should both visit the hospital and find out what was wrong. But his expression changed. He immediately got angry and drove out of the house. He visited the old woman, obtaining a salt to sprinkle in Akila's food, erasing her desire for children. As he returned back home, he prepared her favorite dish and added the salt. After Akila ate, she slept. The next day, he also bought her favorite designer bags and shoes, and Akila forgot about her concerns. She kept moving around, flaunting her clothes and luxury cars. But one rainy night, Akila caught John licking her menstrual blood. She confronted him and John begged her to keep the secret. Akila screamed. John attempted to strangle her. Akila struggled to free herself, but John's grip tightened. She managed to break loose and run out of the house, slamming the door behind her. Confused and terrified, Akila sought refuge at an elderly woman's place, Nneoma, who lived outside the estate. Nneoma listened in shock as Akila recounted the horrific events. "We must report him to the police," Nneoma urged. Akila hesitated, fearing the consequences.
What if he harms me? Or worse, uses his powers against me? I am scared. Then let's report to my pastor. What God cannot do does not exist.
Nneoma convinced Akila to seek help from a powerful spiritual leader, Pastor Emmanuel. He listened attentively and promised to protect Akila. The pastor and his team performed a cleansing ritual, freeing Akila from John's control. After the cleansing, Akila filed for a divorce and moved to a new location, starting afresh. Meanwhile, John's wealth began to dwindle. The old woman appeared, demanding he fulfill his end of the bargain. John, realizing his mistake, begged for forgiveness. The old woman got angry and vanished, leaving John with nothing. His cars, houses, and businesses crumbled. He became a shadow of his former self. One day, while wandering the streets, John stumbled upon Pastor Emmanuel. The pastor revealed that John will die if he does not confess and repent. John immediately broke down, confessing his sins. Pastor Emmanuel prayed for him and John began his journey to redemption. Months passed and John transformed. He dedicated his life to helping others and also exposing the dark forces he once served. Akila, now a successful businesswoman, heard about John's transformation and she visited Pastor Emmanuel, curious about John's fate. The pastor shared John's story and Akila felt a mix of emotions. She realized that John's love for her had been tainted by darkness. Akila decided to forgive John, but chose not to rekindle their relationship. Instead, she focused on her newfound happiness and spiritual growth. As Akila walked away from the pastor's office, she smiled, knowing she had truly broken free. Years later, Akila became a renowned philanthropist, helping women escape abusive relationships. John, now a reformed man, also continued to share his experience and counsel others. Their story serves as a testament to the power of forgiveness, redemption, and the unbreakable human spirit. True wealth comes from within, not from dark secrets or harmful practices. Forgiveness is key to healing and moving forward. Redemption is possible, no matter how far one has fallen. Spiritual growth and self-awareness are essential for a fulfilling life. Love should never be tainted by darkness or manipulation. Thanks for watching. Please like for more stories and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Do not forget to share this story with your friends, your family, in fact, all your loved ones. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye.